Tiger Sports on Alamo Sports and Talk 1230 and 101.9 FM.
Alamo Sports and Talk 1230, 101.9. Welcome back to the Lady Tiger Fast Pitch Complex, Grady Fields, right across from Mountain View Middle School here in Alamogordo. I'm Charles Winicky. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday night. Second game of this district doubleheader between the Alamogordo Lady Tigers and the Oregon Mountain Lady Knights. Oregon Mountain rallies for a 6-5 win in game number 1. And we're just about ready to start game number 2. Both coaches are currently at home plate, chatting things over. And we should be started with, looks like Chloe Lenar will start in the circle. No big surprise for game number 2 with Haley Evans behind home plate. And I don't think any big changes for Alamogordo coming up. And for Oregon Mountain, Natalie Menchaca will lead things off for the Lady Knights. Alamogordo in their home black uniforms with gold numerals outlined in white, gold pinstripes for them. Oregon Mountain in teal with white pinstripes, white lettering and numerals outlined in black. So Oregon Mountain improved to 14-1 with that win and 4-1 in district. Lady Tigers are now 2-3 in district and 12-3 overall in the season. And the umpires look like they're ready to go. Changed up from blue to black. I imagine they probably sweated pretty good in those shirts in the first game, so a change was probably due. Going to be much nicer here. It wasn't bad in the first game, just the sun certainly made it a warm game 1. And the question we'll see is, do these teams get off to hot starts hitting like they did in game 1, or a little bit of a difference between game 1 and 2? So it looks like Allison Cisco is going to center at the moment. I don't know if she's going to be going over to right field. Chloe Evans is headed out that direction, so yeah, it looks like it'll be the same outfield for the Lady Tigers, same infield for the Lady Tigers, as they'll have Bautista at first, Ortiz at second base. Shortstop is Amani Kosum and Davi Gonzalez at third. We already mentioned the battery is Lunar and Evans. Haley Evans, that is. Chloe out in center, Reagan Rose in left, and Allison Cisco in right. And number 14, Natalie Menchaca, who scored 3 runs. That's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. She reached on a single, an error, and a walk, and scored every time she got on the base paths. And here comes the pitch from Lunars. We're underway. It's a called strike. 0-1 the count. Well, two teams battling it out for the series victory. And as I talked about earlier, that could make a big difference in a tiebreaker situation, whether it's winning district or here's a ground ball that is scooped up nicely by Gonzalez on the run. Toss on to first in time. Really well done defensively there from Davi Gonzalez. 5-3 on the putout. Had to scoop that one up on kind of an in-between hop and makes the play for the Lady Tigers. It'll be number 8, Ariana Fuentes, in the number 2 spot for the Lady Knights. As there's one down, and here comes the pitch. Fouled off and back to the screen, 0-1. Also curious to see if it looked like there was somebody different warming up for Oregon Mountain in between games than Cordova. So we'll see if Oregon Mountain feels comfortable going to a second pitcher. It's never been the Lady Tigers over the years. It's usually they've got one pitcher and they stick with one pitcher. And it's Looking for the outside corner. Doesn't get the call. Does Lunar. 2-1. Iceland Ortiz showed some promise in the circle for the Lady Tigers a couple years ago, but that's in there for a strike. 2-2, but Lunar has stepped in, pitched really well since she's been here. She, I think her 8th grade year was Sydney Lassentine's last year, and this is her 2nd full year of pitching for Alamogordo. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. She had 11 in the first game. She gets her first here, and that's 2 down as Lunar off to a solid start here in game number 2. And it'll be Hannah Justice, number 10, to the plate. Justice had an RBI double in the first. She had a single, hit by pitch, and a pop out. 2 for 3 in game number 1. And that'll just miss outside. It looked like that was a good pitch from Lunar. She's been spotting her spin ball much better as the last game progressed, and here early, let's look good. The 1-0. Swing and a miss from Justice, 1-1. The pitch. This is that one outside. And a little bit up, 2-1. And Lunar deals. Liner right back to her glove. Deflects. Ortiz was able to get to it out at second, but not going to be able to get to first. Chloe just hasn't had a lot of luck. I mean, she gets the glove out there and usually makes contact, but that's, I think, the 3rd or 4th time between the first game and this game where it's been a deflection that she just couldn't squeeze in the mid. I mean, they've been hard hit, but I know as a pitcher, you love to get those. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy out, but as that pitch is going to miss down, it looks like. And the count 1-0. As Leah Malero hitting cleanup again for the Lady Knights. Is into the box. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. That is up the middle for a base hit. And back-to-back singles with 2 outs here for Oregon Mountain. No surprises here for the Lady Knights. I mean, they obviously saw a full game worth of pitching from Lunar. As it'll be Araya Gordon coming to the plate in the 5 spot. She moves up in the order from game 1. Araya Cordova. And I say Gordon, Cordova. I don't know what I was thinking there. And that's a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Cordova had a hit and a walk in her first game, 1 for 2. Hard hit and fouled out of play, 0-2. A very nice night here in the Basin. At least doesn't feel too chilly so far. And thankfully no breeze. The 0-2. That's going to be on the dirt and roll away from Evans as she eventually does track it down, but now it's 2nd and 3rd here for Oregon Mountain. And so a base hit could give Oregon Mountain the lead. Lunar's ready to go. The 1-2. Couldn't get that outside corner. And 2-2. That's been, especially against these right-handed hitters, they haven't gone inside quite as much on these hitters. Been really trying to run that fastball right on that outside corner. She's had some success, some not quite as much. 2-2. Fouled off, and that'll take a hard carom off of the pole, holding up the netting behind home plate. And the count will remain 2-2 with runners on second and third here for Oregon Mountain. Looked like it was going to be a pretty routine inning, but singles from Justice and Malero, and then a wild pitch as a pair of runners in scoring position. Two-two. And that's going to roll back to Evans as the count goes full here, 3-2. And that pitch is going to miss outside, and it's a 2-out walk. So bases loaded now, and that'll bring up number 21. As Isabella Salinas comes to the plate. She came in as a pinch hitter in the last game. And that'll miss outside, 1-0. Single walk, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Oregon Mountain tries to jump in front here early. That's going to be low, 2-0. She's not missing these pitches by a whole lot, but credit to the Oregon Mountain hitters. They've had good plate discipline and are making Chloe get it over the plate. 2-0 is going to miss inside. 3-0. And the pitch gets the outside corner this time, 3-1. Two outs and the bases loaded. Oregon Mountain can go on contact here. They don't have to hold up a fly ball. So as soon as it gets in play, it makes that opportunity to score from second a little bit easier. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Well, surprising that Salinas offered at that. That was probably going to be ball 4 there. It was close, but she had laid off a couple others that were pretty close as well. Runner's going to get a head start here with a full count and the bases loaded. And 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swings and misses and strikes her out. Huge strikeout there from Chloe Lunar. And the Lady Tigers avoid giving up runs here in the top of the first inning. 2 hits, 3 left on. No errors, no runs. We go to the bottom of the first on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch here on Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Here in our community, we honor the strength of our military families and their children during Military Child Month. First National Bank is honored to support the families who serve, and we thank you for your service.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
Remember, if something seems too good to be true, it often is. This is Emily from First National Bank. Trust your instincts and stay vigilant to online fraud. Protect yourself from becoming a victim. Think before you act. If you have concerns, contact your bank for further assistance.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
The Winter Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winter Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winter Circle,
1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Lunar leads it off for the Alamogordo Lady Tigers. As we do have a different pitcher than game one for Oregon Mountain, and it is Isabella Salinas that will pitch. As here comes the 0-1 to Lunar. Lunar laces it out to right field for a base hit. Chloe walked twice, popped out, and reached on a fielder's choice in her first game. And here in game two, she picks up her first hit of the evening. And I would assume we'll get a courtesy runner. And it will be Lola Carbajal that will run for her. And Amani Kosum, who had a big two-run home run in the last game and went 4 for 4 with 3 singles on top of that. Into the wind, and here comes the pitch. And it's in there for a strike to Amani Kosum. That'll miss low, maybe a bit inside. 1-1. Haley Evans in the 3 spot for the Lady Tigers. That'll miss a little bit up. 2-1. Gets the inside corner there. And the count evens up at 2-2. Runner on first with nobody out in the bottom of the first on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. And zeros up there so far. And this is hit to left field, and that's another base hit. Carbajal moves up to second. And the Lady Tigers with back-to-back singles to open up this one. And we'll bring up Haley Evans. She had a double and a run scored in the first game. Was intentionally walked, had a double and an RBI, a single hit by a pitch. She was 2 for 3. And here comes the pitch. And this is hit out to left center field. That's going to get out to the wall. 1 run will score, and Kosum is hustling, and she will make it around, and she will score. It's a 2 RBI double, and the Lady Tigers lead 2-0 after back-to-back singles from Lunar and Kosum. And Kosum was flying around the base pass as she does. And we are going to get a courtesy runner this run around for Haley Evans. And there's going to be time called as Oregon Mountain is going to chat things over. And it'll be number 11, Jocelyn Pittman, that's going to run for Evans. It's interesting, I was watching one of the assistant coaches working with Jocelyn on the base pass between the games, just kind of, her footwork and various things. So they obviously knew that they were going to use her as a courtesy here in game 2. And allowing the catcher to rest up a little bit. And that's a called strike to Davi Gonzalez. Infield the same for Oregon Mountain here in game 2. I hadn't mentioned their defensive setup. Emily Lucero at second. Leah Malero is at third base. As Davi hits this one, it went just off the glove. Pittman thought that it had, that she had caught it, but not the worst thing there. She wasn't sure. And maybe somebody with not a ton of confidence on the base pass, you take the safe route to go back to the bag and not get doubled up. That's 4 hits for the Lady Tigers here to open up this game. It's a nice effort there by Natalie Menchaca over at shortstop, but just couldn't quite reel it in. Haley Justice, the first baseman, as well in the infield. Pitcher in the last game, Mariah Gordon's out in left field. Want to know the count? As that pitch is in the dirt. Iceland Ortiz hitting in the 5th spot here in this game. As she moves a little bit up in the order, hitting 7th in game number 1. Alyssa Bautista will hit in the 6th spot. And here's a ground ball that is going to be a foul ball. Malero tried to snag that before it went into foul territory, but was unable to do it. And so it'll be 1-1 here to Ortiz with runners on first and second. 2-0 Alamogordo. 4 hits to get this one started. 3 singles and a double. And the Lady Tigers don't want to leave as many runners on as they did in the first game. And a bunt attempt by Ortiz is going to be fouled off, and it's 1-2 now. Here comes the pitch. And this is going to be a foul ball. Initially, it looked like it was going to get over the third baseman's head and drop in, but just continue to hook. Foul, and it'll be 1-2 now, or again to Ortiz. 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Lady Tigers in front. We're in game 2 of our doubleheader. Lady Tigers lost the first game 6-5. Oregon Mountain rallied in the top of the 7th to take the lead, and then held on in the home half. As that pitch is going to miss just outside, maybe a bit up. Count is 2-2. And Ortiz will pop this one up over to shortstop. That'll be an easy play over there for Menchaca. And there's one down. Center fielder for Oregon Mountain is Hannah Justice here in game 2. And Alyssa Bautista with 2 on and 1 out will come to the plate. And that one will be outside. Well done there by Abigail Sanchez, who kept that in front of her. Salinas will see this one hit out to left center field, and that's going to get all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Davi hustling. She's going to stop at third. It's a double for Alyssa Bautista, and the Lady Tigers in front 3-0. Well, you got to wonder for Oregon Mountain if they think about going back to Mariah Cordova, who pitched so well in the first game. Coach is going to come out and talk things over. It'll be second and third, and it'll be Reagan Rose coming to the plate. She had a couple of hits in the first game. And, yep, looks like we are going to see a pitching change. So it looks like they will bring in Cordova from left field. Check that out. And make sure that that's who that is that's going to be pitching. It's initially here, I don't know if it's Hannah Justice. Yeah, it's actually a different one. Hannah Justice, number 10, who's going to come in pitch. I got to say, it's so unusual to me when seeing 3 different players that get pitched on a softball team. Or maybe I'm just used to watching Alamogordo softball because we don't see that a whole lot on this side. So, new pitcher for Oregon Mountain. And we'll see how the Lady Tigers work with that after coming away with 4 hits and 3 runs. 5 hits, I'm sorry, and 3 runs here in the first so far, as Justice continues to warm up. And we'll see defensively what they change up. Reagan Rowe is going to be ready to go here for the Lady Tigers. So Salinas will go over to first base. And so that means Haley Justice will move to the outfield. Everything else, I think, stays the same. And Justice will miss down and in. And that pitch kind of bounced around behind home plate, but didn't get very far away from the catcher. And it'll be 1-0 to Rose. Somebody from the Alamogordo dugout was asking whether it hit Reagan or not, as that's in there for a called strike, 1-1. And home plate umpire said it hit him, didn't hit Reagan. Second and third here for the Lady Tigers. A 1-1 pitch and a ground ball to the right side. They're going to go to first and get the out there. Davi's going to score. And a ground out RBI for Reagan Rose. Little surprised they didn't go home on that, because Davi was already committed to running. So Lady Tigers will take that, and Elise Roman will come to the plate for Alamogordo. And a base hit, and she can give Alamogordo a 5-0 lead here in this first inning. Time going to be called as Coach Fernando Lunar will chat with his hitter. Maybe something he saw from the first few pitches from Justice. As the righty's ready to go. As that'll miss inside. 2-0 here to Roman. Bautista on third. As that one misses, I think low. 3-0. I expect Roman probably taking here. And she is in there for a strike, 3-1. And Roman will take that. She thought she had drawn ball 4. And she'll have to head back to the batter's box. It was close. I'm sure some of the Alamogordo fans disagreed, but 3-2. And Roman will pop this one up on the infield to the right side. It's going to be snagged over there by Lucero, and the inning is over. Lady Tigers get 4, though, and they pick up 5 hits. They do leave 1 on, and we go to the top of the second inning on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. Lady Tigers in front, 4-0.
Join the fantastic team at Ochoa Stucco. Full-time positions, on-the-job training, and competitive pay. Start a career in construction. Message Ochoa Stucco on Facebook or call 575-442-6745 to schedule an interview.
Join Stand Up to Cancer and Jazz Pharmaceuticals to raise awareness of small cell lung cancer and accelerate the pace of research. Ask your healthcare provider about screening options that might be right for you or a loved one. Visit standuptocancer.org/lung to learn more.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Top of the second inning, you're listening to Lady Tiger softball here on Alamo Sports and Talk. From the Richardson Motor scoreboard, it's the Lady Tigers 4 and Oregon Mountain nothing. And 1-1 to count here to Abigail Sanchez, who leads things off for the Lady Knights. And she'll foul this one back to the 1-2 the count. That'll be to the backstop. 2-2. Seven, 8, and 9 in the order here for Oregon Mountain due up. And that's up as well. Sanchez holds off. Keelan Reyes in the on-deck circle for Oregon Mountain. Just gets a piece of it and fouls it off back in our direction. And the count remains 3-2. Will be the seventh pitch of this at-bat. Top of 2, Lady Tigers. 4 runs in the home half of the first inning. And that one's going to miss down and away. And a walk, second walk surrendered by Lunar. And Reyes will come to the plate. And I think we'll get a courtesy runner here for Oregon Mountain for the catcher, Sanchez. And she will come out. And Yasmin Hernandez will run for her. The Lady Tigers hoping to get the shutdown inning after picking up those 4 runs, and what a big difference there. Lady Tigers were able to get out of a jam with the bases loaded in the top half of the first inning and then come up in the home half and have a big inning. Bunt attempt, and that one's going to be fouled off the hitter's bat, and then couldn't tell if that went off of Reyes or went off of the home plate umpire, but definitely made contact with someone behind home plate. The 0-1. That's in there for a strike. 0-2. And the pitch. Swings and misses and strikes out. So 1 out. And Haley Justice will round out the lineup here for Oregon Mountain, the number 9 spot. Leadoff walk to begin the inning, and Justice will step up to try to put a runner in scoring position for the top of the order. Pitch will miss outside. Justice did have a single in the first game. I think the question here in game 2 will be, does fatigue set in at all for Lunar? She's used to throwing a lot of innings, but it's in there for a strike. 1-1. I do think these weeks with the just 1 day of rest of 2 days of rest in district's a little bit tougher. Here's a ground ball. Nice snag by Bautista over at first as she steps on the bag. Runner does advance to second on a hard hit ball by Justice. There's 2 down. And Natalie Menchaca, who grounded out to third in her first at-bat, will get her second try. And they're going to intentionally walk her. Interesting. Menchaca, she was 1 for 3 in the first game, but I guess giving yourself a force at any of the bases except home plate. And we'll say Ariana Fuentes struggled a bit in the first game, but she did have a single in that 7th inning. As the pitch misses outside, Evans able to get to it. Then she throws over to third. Davi was able to keep that from going into the outfield. The runner is going to be safely in. And so it'll be second and third here with a 1-0 count. And so now that force out goes out of play. Still obviously have it at first, as that's going to be a called strike. 1-1. Swing, and she might have got a piece of it, but into the catcher's mitt. 1-2. So picked up a big strikeout to finish off the last inning. Trying to do the same here. The 1-2. That's not going to quite catch the outside corner. Tailing away from the hitter. 2-2. But a pretty good pitch there. And here comes the 2-2. Couldn't get the call there. I think that one was low, not outside. 3-2. So 2 pitches that did miss by a whole lot, but I think did miss. And so a full count pitch here. That's going to be a called strike 3 on a pitch that was probably a little bit up, it looked like, from my perspective, but that'll end the inning. So the Lady Tigers see Oregon Mountain strand 5 in the first 2 innings. Oregon Mountain is left on base. And we go to the bottom half of the second inning on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. Lady Tigers hold on to a 4-0 lead.
This is Deborah Romero, President and CEO of First National Bank. Banking should be personal. It's the comfort of being greeted by name, celebrating life's milestones, and staying connected to what matters most. Because when your bank truly knows you, you're never just another transaction. We're proud to support you on your financial journey and serve in the communities we call home. First National Bank, where community and commitment come together. Stop in today and experience the difference.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Winner's Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winner's Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winner's Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Transform your home with Ochoa Stucco. Whether it's a fresh look or a durable finish, their expert team delivers quality and style. Say goodbye to bland exteriors and hello to stunning curb appeal. Ochoa Stucco, always a flawless finish. 442-6745.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019, bottom of 2. On the Richardson Motor scoreboard, it's the Lady Tigers 4, the Lady Knights nothing. And 0-2 the count here to Evans. She squared around a bunt. It was a called strike, and then she swings and misses on the second offering. And here comes the 0-2, and she swings and misses there. And a strikeout for Hannah Justice, who came into pitch in the last inning and was able to get a ground out and a pop out. And we'll see Chloe Lenar for the first time. She came in when Reagan Rose was the first hitter of the inning. Lenar singled, and her courtesy runner, Carbajal, ended up scoring. Right-handed pitching Justice, left-handed hitting Lenar. And that's going to miss outside. 1-0 here to Lenar. And now we're going to see the catcher, Sanchez, go out and talk to her pitcher. I think Justice wanted to chat that over. Got a defensive setup for Oregon Mountain. It's switched around a little bit from the start. Salinas is over at first. And then Lucero at second base. The shortstop is Menchaca. And Malero, the third baseman, is Lenar turns on this one, but sends it over into the corner in foul territory up the first base line. And the count evens at 1-1. So they've moved Haley Justice out to right field. And then Ariana Fuentes is in center. And Kaylin Reyes is in left. Amani Kosum also due up in this inning. She's in the on-deck circle. And 1-1 the count here to Lenar. And she will hit this hard out to left field. It will get down. That is going to be into the corner in left field. And a stand-up double for Chloe Lenar. She's got a single and a double. And the Lady Tigers have a runner in scoring position with one out. Courtesy runner again as Carbajal will come out and run for Lenar. Or maybe not. Because Chloe wants to stay on the base pass this time. So no courtesy this time for the Lady Tigers. And it'll be Amani Kosum who singled and scored in the last inning. Justice steps back for a second and then leads Amani to step out of the box, take a practice swing, and get ready to go here. As she foul tips this one into the glove, 0-1. Just so you know, for those of you listening at home, you hear a lot of screaming and stuff. We do have a JV game that's still going on over on the field adjacent to us, so something I'm not telling you about, something that's going on out here. Outside it misses for Justice, and the count's 1-1. Got a busy night of softball here at Grady Fields. The 1-1. And That's going to be a called strike. 1-2. Well, I think the hitters need to adjust. That the high strike is definitely getting called a little bit. And, I mean, it's not super high, but certainly if it's touching the belt in any fashion, it's going to probably be called a strike. So, ground ball foul on the third base side. And the count will remain 1-2. Lunar at second after the one-out double. Kosum, who went 4 for 4 in the first game, already has a hit in this one. Scored from first on a double from Evans in the bottom of the first inning. Justice ready to go. Here's the 1-2. And Kosum strikes out. So first time today that the Lady Knights have been able to sit down Kosum. And it'll be Haley Evans coming to the plate. Double, 2 RBIs. And Evans to the plate. First time she'll see Justice, and this will be a ground ball that, it's a foul ball up the third baseline. A little bit of a delayed call from the home plate umpire, but Evans will get another shot here, 0-1. And we saw in the last game, Lady Tigers got to take advantage of any runners in scoring position. Big reason why Oregon Mountain was able to rally. This is well hit, but foul up the third baseline. Good contact again from Evans. Just couldn't keep it fair. It'll be a busy weekend for a lot of these Lady Tigers. They're going to be competing in powerlifting up in Rio Rancho on Saturday. Haley's one of those. Davi, who's in the on-deck circle, is another. Addison Cisco, Monty Kosum. A 2-strike pitch. It's going to miss high, and it's 1-2. And a swing and a miss, and Justice gets a couple of strikeouts. Actually, she ends up with 3 in the inning. The only thing she gave up was the double to Lunar. 1 left on for the Lady Tigers and 1 hit. No runs, no errors. We go to the top of the third. 4-0 Alamogordo in front on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch on Alamo Sports and Talk.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles as low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Hi, this is Deborah Romero, President and CEO of First National Bank. Community banks are so much more than just a bank in a community. We offer favorable rates and low fees. We are the volunteers that step up to help at local schools, youth sports, and non-for-profit organizations. Community bankers support the community where we all live, work, and play.
Putting you first is in our name. First National Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All loans are subject to credit approval.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. as the Lady Tigers lead 4-0. We're in the top of the third inning. And leading things off is Hannah Justice for Oregon Mountain. She singled in the first inning. And that's a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Oregon Mountain is threatened in each of the first two innings. Had the bases loaded in the first, had second and third on in the second inning. So Lady Tigers been living a little dangerously, but have managed to get out of it so far. The 0-1. This is fouled off. It's the railing on the top of the backstop. Lunar ready to go. Heading the count 0-2. There's the pitch. Ground ball, and this time Lunar is able to snag it and toss it on to first. That had to feel good. She had 3 or 4 of those. Have unfortunately just glanced off her glove and ended up being a base hit and sometimes run scoring, and was able to make the play there. Toss on to first and 1 down. Swing and a miss here from the number 4 hitter, Leah Malero. She singled in her last at-bat. And she gets behind the count 0-1. Tularosa softball a winner tonight, 13-1 and 12-2 over Hatch Valley as they open up district with a couple of wins. And just a little bit low there from Lunar as the count evens up at 1-1. And hitting the outside corner. Count goes 1-2 here to Malero. And here's a ground ball over to second. Ortiz snags it. Toss on to first. And a pretty routine play. As there's 2 down. And Mariah Cordova will come to the plate. Getting a little conversation there with Malero after that last at-bat. And here's fouled off back to the screen, 0-1. So Tularosa doesn't have another game until next week when they'll play the third game in that series against Hatch. That'll be at home. And off-speed pitch in the dirt, 1-1 here to Cordova. Lady Tigers also have the weekend off. Next week will be Tuesday, Friday on the setup, and that'll be, I think, the rest of district. It'll go that way for both Alamogordo baseball and softball. Last week we had Easter, Good Friday, so that's why they had Friday off. And there's a ground ball that'll go foul, 1-2. And then this week, the powerlifting state championships, I think, were a big part of the schedule being a Tuesday, Thursday. I think a lot of the softball teams in the district have athletes that are competing at state this weekend. So the 1-2. And just getting a piece of it is Cordova as the at-bat stays alive. We saw Oregon Mountain get a couple on with 2 outs. Actually loaded the bases with 2 outs in the first. So swing and a miss and a strikeout. So that is now 5 strikeouts for Chloe Lunar. And the Lady Tigers stay in control of this one, 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the third on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch on Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019.
The Winner's Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winner's Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winner's Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Join the fantastic team at Ochoa Stucco. Full-time positions, on-the-job training, and competitive pay. Start a career in construction. Message Ochoa Stucco on Facebook or call 575-442-6745 to schedule an interview.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. On to the third inning, Lady Tigers in front, 4-0. Davi Gonzalez leads things off. She's got a single and a run scored. She is even in the count, 1-1. Launched the first pitch, missed, and then fouled off the most recent one out of play to the third base side. She'll watch that one miss upstairs, 2-1. Into the wind and the pitch outside. 3-1. Ortiz and Bautista due up. Bautista's got an RBI double. And this is hard hit and just off the glove of the shortstop. She gets it to first in time. Boy, that's a nice recovery there from Menchaca. That was an absolute bullet. And it was enough for her to get her glove on it, even though she didn't get the catch. It's basically fell right behind her. She grabbed it up and tossed it on to first to get Gonzalez. Heck of a defensive play there. So there's one down on the, technically it's 6-3 on the putout, but essentially a line out there. First pitch misses here to Iceland Ortiz. She popped out to the shortstop Menchaca in her first at-bat. And this is hit out in the air to shallow left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Ortiz with her first hit of this game. She grabbed one in game one. And it'll bring up Melissa Bautista with an RBI double. And I should mention a lot of these hits in the first inning were off of the starting pitcher, Salinas. So a lot of these are first opportunities to face Justice here, and she gets the first one in there for a strike, 0-1. And it is Hannah Justice pitching. Haley Justice in the outfield. And this is hit in the air out to left field. It'll be snagged out there on a pretty routine play by the left fielder, Reyes. Two down, and Reagan Rose to the plate. Grounded out into an RBI. And this one is fouled off and back to the screen. 0-1 the count to Rose. as she was the first hitter to face Hannah Justice when she replaced. And check swing into the netting. And the count is 0-2. And here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. Justice has looked very good in her 2 innings plus of work. And the Lady Tigers down here in the third. But they continue to lead 4-0 on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch on Alamo Sports and Talk.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Here in our community, we honor the strength of our military families and their children during Military Child Month. First National Bank is honored to support the families who serve, and we thank you for your service.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
Use the equity in your home to finance your dreams. This is Leanne Bain from First National Bank. Plan that special vacation, those home improvements, or simply pay off high interest rate bills. It's easy. Apply for your home equity line of credit today.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to credit approval.
The Winter Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winter Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winter Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the games!
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. First pitch from Chloe Lennard to Isabella Salinas in the dirt. Want to know the count? And can't spot the 1-0 on the outside corner, 2-0. Salinas struck out her first time up. She struck out with the bases loaded in the first. That was a big moment early in this game. And she'll line this one up the middle, and it'll just leak into the outfield for a base hit for Salinas. And we'll put a runner on first for Oregon Mountain. That is their third hit of the day. Lennar has walked 3, one of them an intentional walk, 2 of them not. But had retired the last 4 before that one. And that pitch, I believe, missed just low. 1-0 the count. And a ground ball foul at the third base line as the count moves to 1-1. Long way here for the next pitch, but we're ready to go now. And here's a ground ball that's up the middle. They're going to tag out the runner coming by. Will Ortiz did try to flip it in turn 2. I don't know if they were going to be able to do that anyway. It was a little bit of a slow roller. And I think we're going to get a courtesy runner for Sanchez again. Fielder's choice 4 unassisted, by the way, for anybody who might bring it home. I don't know. 1 down. And Kaylin Reyes, who struck out her first time up, to the plate for the second time. And showed bunt. Pitch is going to miss outside, maybe a bit high, 1-0. And a left-handed hitter in the order. We didn't see that in the first game. Reyes was just in as a courtesy runner. And puts down a bunt. That's going to be fouled off. And the count evens up at 1. And she tried to lay down some bunts in the last at-bat as well, but couldn't get it in play. And now her first base coach is going to come over and chat with her for a second. And now she's ready to go. Number 8 hitter in the order, Haley Justice in the on-deck circle for the Lady Knights. 1-1. Tries to bunt again and just hopped out of the glove of Evans, but she was to it quickly, and the runner didn't try to advance. So it's 1-2 now. All of a sudden, the wind's picked up a little bit more in kind of a different direction, blowing across the field from left to right. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be in the dirt. Evans, again, didn't let it get too far away from her as it bounced away, but 2-2. One out, runner on first. And Ladar has looked solid here. Had to fight through some trouble, but that one misses high and outside. And the count is full, 3-2. She certainly hasn't been unhittable, but so far she's kept the Lady Knights off the scoreboard. 3-2. Fouled off, and we'll do it again. By the way, Yasmin Hernandez is the courtesy runner for the catcher, Sanchez. Don't think I mentioned that earlier. Another 3-2. There's the pitch. And she gets a piece of it. Then it's going to go foul up the third base line. And it'll be the 8th pitch of the at-bat now. As Ludar tries to get this second out. Three and two. And again, able to send that the opposite way, but foul. And we'll try this another time. 9th pitch of the at-bat now, with the count full, 3-2. Ray is back into the box. Hernandez over at first for Oregon Mountain. A 3-2. And that's just going to miss. And that's a walk on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. So it'll be first and second now for Haley Justice. Evans didn't miss that one by a whole lot. And Justice with an opportunity to maybe get her team on the scoreboard here, but she'll watch the first one in for a called strike, 0-1. Grounded out to Alyssa Bautista over at first base. Bautista moving up a little bit, maybe expecting a bunt. Didn't see her showing it, at least on the first one. Now she's trying to lay one down. Toss over to third. They're going to get the out there. Won't be able to turn the double play, but the Lady Tigers do get the force at third, as that one went right back to the circle. They will get to the top of the order. So it's 1-3 on the putout, as Hernandez was out at third base. Reyes moves up to second, and it'll be Natalia Menchaca that'll come to the plate now. Intentionally walked in the second, grounded out in the first, 0-4-1. And that'll miss just inside. 1-0 the count. And hard hit, and that one will take a big carom off the top of the Alamogordo dugout, and the count will be 1-1. Two outs and runners on first and second for Oregon Mountain. They've already left 5 on base in this game, and 3 of those in scoring position. I'm sorry, 4 of those, I believe, in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. As that one just misses outside, 2-1. There's one that didn't seem to miss by a whole lot. The 2-1. That's in there for a strike as she runs that at the knees over the inner half of the plate. And she gets it to 2 strikes now. 2-2 with 2 runners on. And 2 down in the top of the 4th. There's the pitch. Hard hit and lined. I don't know if that went into the Alamogordo dugout, but maybe just, I think it went off the cage on the outside. Count stays 2-2. Here comes the wind of the pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. Ortiz with a little bit of trouble with it. She's going to be able to get up with it and get to first in time. And that'll be the end of the inning. So the Lady Tigers, again, get out of some trouble as Oregon Mountain leaves 2 more on. 7 left on base for them over the first 4 innings. And the Lady Tigers lead 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. On the Richardson Motor scoreboard, you're listening to Lady Tiger softball on Alamo Sports and Talk.
Looking to transform your home's exterior? Meet Rudy Ochoa. With years of experience in stucco, Rudy and his crew deliver quality craftsmanship and stunning flawless finishes. 575-442-6745.
We are the Veterans Health Administration, and our hands provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide. Join hands with us to make an impact in your community. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. As Lola Carbajal will be pinch hitting for Elise Roman. And the pitch gets the bottom of the strike zone, 1-1. So I apologize. I thought Alamo baseball was on the same schedule as softball this week. They're actually playing tomorrow night at Oregon Mountain. And I thought I saw some of the baseball players in attendance tonight. I was like, huh. So, yeah, that big reason why they were able to move that game to Wednesday. So apologies on the confusion because I think I posted that incorrectly up on our social medias. So they are playing tomorrow, 5 and 7 o'clock. Here's the 1-2. That's a little bit high. 2-2. Thule softball, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, was able to get the doubleheader sweep over Hatch Valley. 13-1 and 12-2. There's a high pop-up over towards third base. And that is going to be snagged by Malero. And there's one down. That'll bring up Chloe Evans. No, actually, it's going to be another change as Parker Wade is going to get an opportunity here. So Lady Tigers going with a couple of pinch hitters here in the middle portion of the game. And I would assume that we're going to see Evans and Rahman was a designated player, so she may not re-enter, but I would imagine Evans will go back in out of the field. As way to watch that one miss outside. Chloe Lunar in the on-deck circle for the Lady Tigers. And this is pretty well hit, but out of play up the third base side. The left-handed hitting Wade. One of the four seniors in this group, along with Haley Evans and Alyssa Bautista and Amani Kosim. And she'll again get a piece of it, but fouled off back to the screen, 1-2. Burr's one of those players you appreciate because she doesn't get as much playing time as a lot of the others, but she's stuck with this team and, continues to, be a part of the group. And that's never easy. Anytime you're a high school kid, you want to get out there and play. And she hits a ground ball to the left side. That'll be snagged by Menchaca. Toss on to first. And there's two down. Chloe Lennar will come to the plate now. A little bit of a conversation going on between the catcher and the home plate umpire. Not sure what was going on there. The two down and the base is empty. Back to the top of the order for the Lady Tigers. Chloe Lennar is singled and doubled. And she will foul this one off back behind home plate. The count 0-1. Into the line of the pitch. And that one's going to miss outside. Count evens up at 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Now a lot of credit to Hannah Justice, who came in with one out in the top of the first after Alamogordo had already played it in 3 runs. And has kept Alamogordo off the scoreboard since then. Swing and a miss from Lunar. 2-2. And that's going to miss high. Count is full 3-2 here to Lunar. Well hit, but foul up the third base side here for Lunar. So that means we have a couple of baseball doubleheaders happening on the road tomorrow. Tularosa heads over to Socorro. Alamogordo in Las Cruces taking on Oregon Mountain. And here's a ground ball to second by Lunar. Picked up cleanly, a toss on to first by Lucero. And the inning is over. So Lady Tigers down in order this inning. And we go to the top of the 5th. And Alamogordo still in front, 4-0 on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch.
Here in our community, we honor the strength of our military families and their children during Military Child Month. First National Bank is honored to support the families who serve, and we thank you for your service.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
Remember, if something seems too good to be true, it often is. This is Emily from First National Bank. Trust your instincts and stay vigilant to online fraud. Protect yourself from becoming a victim. Think before you act. If you have concerns, contact your bank for further assistance.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
The Winner's Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winner's Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winner's Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Join the fantastic team at Ochoa Stucco. Full-time positions, on-the-job training, and competitive pay. Start a career in construction. Message Ochoa Stucco on Facebook or call 575-442-6745 to schedule an interview.
Join Stand Up to Cancer and Jazz Pharmaceuticals to raise awareness of small cell lung cancer and accelerate the pace of research. Ask your healthcare provider about screening options that might be right for you or a loved one. Visit standuptocancer.org/lung to learn more.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Alamogordo leads 4-0. Fuentes leading off for Oregon Mountain. Tried a bunt and fouled it off. She's going to try another bunt. That pitch missed very high to the backstop, 1-1. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the order here for Oregon Mountain. Fuentes looking for her first hit. She struck out a couple times. She's going to foul this one off. And falls behind in the count, 1-2. So Fuentes, Justice, Hannah Justice, and Malero due up. The 1-2. Called strike 3. No? That missed? Whew. Boy, that was right there on the outside corner, it looked to me. 2-2. That one missed outside. 3-2. Into the line. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss and struck her out. So that'll be strikeout number 3 for Fuentes. Overall for Lunar, that's 7 in the game. Or I'm sorry, 6 in the game. And it'll bring up Hannah Justice, who is singled and grounded out in her 2 tries. Lenar ready to go. And on this down and maybe a bit away, they're 1-0. Here's the pitch. As that one misses outside, 2-0. I think Evans checking back with the home plate umpire on where those were missing. This is hit foul and out of play. 2-1. Lunar with a long look in. Now gets ready to go. And this is, again, line foul off of the netting. And the count goes to 2-2. 4-0 Alamogordo in front. We're in the top of the fifth inning. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Oregon Mountain rallied to win the first game 6-5. And the rubber match of the series. Lady Tigers won on Tuesday. So each team with a win apiece. And that's down and away. And it'll get off the glove to the backstop. And the count 3-2 now. Wait a minute, did he call a strike there? Oh my goodness. Huh. I am blown away with that one. As that ended up being a called third strike. Because that one was definitely down away. There was a pitch earlier in the bat that certainly you can call a third strike on, or you could have called a strike on, but that was not even close. Whew. This is going to be hard hit and foul out of play. Counts 0-1. Yeah, I honestly don't know what he saw on. Like there's been a few that I kind of tilted my head at because I thought they were pretty close. That one, I was already marking down ball 3, and I looked up and I noticed there was a little bit of reaction from the crowd. Tries to get the off-speed pitch on the outside corner, just missed. That one was far closer than that 2-2 they got called to strike 3. So it happens. Hey, listen, you got human beings out there, but. The 1-1. Ground ball, and that's going to get through for a base hit. So Malero was able to poke that into right field for a base knock. You know, and I'd say it's weird. It's one of those things that, you know, sometimes that wakes another, you know, the team up who gets kind of the bad end of the stick on something like that. So Lady Tigers need to be careful here with 2 outs. It's one of those strange things sometimes that, you know, gets you a little fired up if you're on the Oregon Mountain bench and they able to start rallying. That's a called strike on the inner half to Araya Cordova. She walked in the first, struck out in the third inning. The 0-1. That's outside. Counts 1-1. Swing and a miss. That was one that Cordova would like to have back as she swung after one that was in the dirt. So Lennar going to try to keep anything from getting going in this inning. And she sends the 1-2. Swing and a miss and struck her out. Well, a questionable strikeout call for the second out. And you never know, that could have made a big difference. And she still was going to send a 3-2 pitch, so it wasn't as if she was getting on base with that call that was missed. But if she gets on, you get a single there, maybe a little bit of a different story in that inning. But so it happens. Lady Tigers on the better end of that. As we go to the bottom of the fifth, they lead 4-0 on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. You're listening to Lady Tiger Fast Pitch on Alamo Sports and Talk.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles as low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company, 318 South White Sands Boulevard, or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Kosum leads things off. Behind the count 0-1. Now 1-1 as that one hops back to the catcher. Hannah Justice continues in the circle for Oregon Mountain. She's been superb since she's come into the game. She did give up a ground out that scored a run, but has put the Lady Tigers down in the second, third, and fourth innings. And Alamo really hasn't threatened. They've had a couple hits, but a double that ended up getting stranded and a single as well. The 1-1. 9 outside, 2-1. Definitely a nice thing to have that, Cordova, who pitched really well in the first game, and you have Justice that can come in and pitch as well. Swing and a miss. Kosum swung out of her shoes on that one, 2-2. She was really going after that one. She had an opposite field home run a little bit earlier in the game, and I think would have loved an opportunity with that one, but was in front of it. Kosum going to step back out and then back into the box. That's outside. 3-2. And she'll get a piece of this out to shallow center field and not able to make the grab. A good effort out there in center as Fuentes did her best to get to it, but just dropped in front of her. And Kosum will take that as a single, and the Lady Tigers definitely take the base runner. I tell you one thing, neither team has been aggressive at all on the base paths. Now, Kosum, I don't think has been on first without a runner in front of her, so she hasn't had the opportunity to try and steal. Here's a ground ball. Evans will foul off up the third base side, 0-1. But haven't seen Sanchez have to make a throw out to second, so maybe there's a reason why Alamogordo hasn't been aggressive, feeling like they don't want to test the catcher. The 0-1. And this will be sky-high foul out of play up the third base side. And 0-2 now here to Evans. Now, so far, it's been a big first inning for the Lady Tigers that has them in front, 4-0, as we get into the later innings. Two is going to miss outside. 1-2 the count. And this is well hit. It is a fair ball up the third base line. Kosum is going to try to hustle around and score. She will do it. Evans has got a stand-up double, and the Lady Tigers are able to add on to their lead, 5-0. Third RBI of the night for Haley Evans, her second double, and Kosum scores her second run of the game. And we'll bring up Davi Gonzalez. Evans this time will stay on the base paths. She had a courtesy run of the first time. Davi will watch that one miss outside. 1-0 the count. On top of the order has been difficult for Oregon Mountain to get out. Lunar's 2 for 3. Kosum's 2 for 3. Evans 2 for 3. And this will be fouled off up the first base side. And it's 1-1. Called strike on the outer half. And 1-2 to Gonzalez. Nobody out in the inning and a runner on second. Ortiz and Bautista also would be due up in this inning, barring a double play. And this will be hit to the right side. It'll move the runner up. Gonzalez will be out at first, but puts a sac fly in order for the Lady Tigers with a runner on third and one down. 4-3 on the putout. And it'll bring up Iceland Ortiz, who has singled and popped out in her 2 tries. A little bloop single out to left field in her last at-bat. And Lady Tigers will take another ground out to the right side here if they can get it. But another pop-out needs to be hit pretty deep here for Ortiz. And she's going to send this in the air out to right center field. She's going to get an RBI single. So Ortiz on the very first pitch loops it to the opposite field. And the Lady Tigers now in front 6-0. Ice has been a nice re-addition of the lineup for Lady Tigers. She missed the first few games that I saw, or at least the first 2 games that I saw. I think she was dealing with an injury. And getting her back has definitely helped out considerably. And it'll bring up Alyssa Bautista now. She'll watch that one down the middle for a strike, 0-1. There's the pitch. That'll miss, and the count evens up at 1-1. This is hard hit, but foul. Out of play up the third base line. A left-handed hitting Bautista. Here comes the 1-2. Trying to go off speed there. Did justice, but misses that one upstairs. And the count is 2-2. After not being able to get any across in the middle innings of this game, Lady Tigers 2 more on the board and a comfortable 6-run lead now. That one just misses. That looked like that was at the knees on the outside corner, but Oregon Mountain doesn't get the call. 3-2. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout as Bautista will head back to the dugout. And there's 2 down with Reagan Rose coming to the plate. Ground out RBI back in the first, a strikeout in her second at-bat. As Ortiz over at first. And Rose will foul this one off out of play. 0-1 the count. Bottom of 5. Lady Tigers in front 6-0. Haley Evans with 3 RBIs. Iceland Ortiz has got 1. Reagan Rose has got 1. And that's down. 1-1. Alyssa Bautista also with an RBI double for the Lady Tigers tonight. It's going to feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity if the Lady Tigers do hold on here. They had a chance to come away with the doubleheader sweep, but credit to Oregon Mountain as this one is hit in the air right to the shortstop. Over to Menchaca, who will get that on the lazy liner. And that will do it for the 5th inning. But the Lady Tigers, plate 2, they come away with 3 hits. They leave 1 on. We go to the top of the 6th inning with Alamogordo in front 6-0 on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. We'll be back.
This is Deborah Romero, President and CEO of First National Bank. Banking should be personal. It's the comfort of being greeted by name, celebrating life's milestones, and staying connected to what matters most. Because when your bank truly knows you, you're you're never just another transaction. We're proud to support you on your financial journey and serve in the communities we call home. First National Bank, where community and commitment come together. Stop in today and experience the difference.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Winner Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit, whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief. We can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winner Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winner Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Transform your home with Ochoa Stucco. Whether it's a fresh look or a durable finish, their expert team delivers quality and style. Say goodbye to bland exteriors and hello to stunning curb appeal. Ochoa Stucco, always a flawless finish. 442-6745.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. Chloe Lennar begins her sixth inning of work here in Game 2. Technically her 13th inning of work today. And she's even in the count 1-1 to Isabella Salinas, now 2-1. So it's Salinas and Abigail Sanchez and Kaylin Reyes due up. And here's a ground ball that I think that went off of the hitter. They're going to toss on the first. What a play. They get her. They did. Wow. I thought that was hit and it rolled off of the hitter into play. And Lunar, from her knees, gets over there, gets to the ball, and from her knees makes the throw to first in time and gets the out. That's a heck of a play from Chloe Lunar. It'll bring up Abigail Sanchez now. And that'll drop a little bit low. 1-0. Walk and a fielder's choice ground out. So she's been on both times today that she's been to the plate. And that pitch is going to come up, and Sanchez able to hold up on the check swing, 2-0. Pop up on the field. And Ortiz is going to make the grab. That one hit the heel of her glove and almost rolled up out of it, but she squeezes it, and that'll be out number 2. Then I'll bring up Kaylin Reyes, who reached on a walk in the 4th inning. Heck of a battle between her and Lunar. I think she went to 9 pitches on that at bat. She'll come up with the bases empty here. 2 down in the top of the 6th. As the first pitch will miss high and outside, the count's 1-0. And that one's going to just miss as well. As Reyes was running out of the box, looking for the bunt. 2-0 is going to be fouled off and out of play. Up the third base side, 2-1 the count now. And Lady Tigers will still be a full game behind Oregon Mountain in the district. But we'll draw a game closer. But most importantly, if it ends up in a tiebreaker between the two of them, now mind you, that's barring a huge rally here from Oregon Mountain, is that pitch, I believe, missed a little bit high, maybe outside. 3-1. And home plate umpire said outside. I think somebody from the Alamogordo dugout was asking where that was. And that's going to miss down and in. And that'll be a walk. So 2-out walk. And Haley Justice will come to the plate with a runner on first and 2 down. She's grounded out twice, once to first and the other one back to the circle. So she's made contact. She tries to get something started for her team here in the late innings. That's in there for a strike on the outer half, 0-1. Here comes the pitch. This one popped up and could stay in play here. Bautista getting over there. And she's got it. And the inning is over. I had to surmise that she got it because we couldn't see her, but everybody reacted. She did make the grab over there. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Lady Tigers either looking for a little bit more insurance, or if they could play 4 runs, they can end the game in the bottom of the 6th, but we'll see what happens. Lady Tigers in control here, 6-0 in Game 2 of the doubleheader. You're listening to Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Hi, this is Deborah Romero, President and CEO of First National Bank. Community banks are so much more than just a bank in a community. We offer favorable rates and low fees. We are the volunteers that step up to help at local schools, youth sports, and non-for-profit organizations. Community bankers support the community where we all live, work, and play.
Putting you first is in our name. First National Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. All loans are subject to credit approval.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. Lola Carbajal to the plate. Watch the first pitch from Hannah Justice miss upstairs. And now watches the 1-0. Hits that one foul and out of play up the first base side, 1-1. Carbajal has been up in the last 2 at-bats for Alamo. Elise Ramon led off the game in the number 8 spot. Or I should say, started the game in the 8th part of the order for the Lady Tigers. And outside and high, Justice misses. 2-1. Chloe Evans will come back in and hit after Parker Wade pinch hit for her in the last run through this part of the order. Carbajal watches that one in there for a called strike on the inner half of the plate, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss and struck out. 1 down. And it'll be Chloe Evans to the plate. She struck out in her first at-bat in the 2nd inning. Chloe Evans re-entering, as the umpire is telling us, which I had to assume she did in the last inning because I think she was out in the field. So, but I guess it only matters when it gets to the I don't think it only matters when it gets to the batting order. This is fouled off back in our direction, 0-1. Chloe Lunar also due up in the inning for the Lady Tigers. As here comes the pitch. And she'll pop this one up again back in our direction. And for the second time, takes a loud clatter off the top of the crow's nest roof. 1-2 here to Evans. And here comes the pitch from Justice, and this is popped up in play over to first base, and that is going to be snagged by Abigail Sanchez. I'm sorry, by Salinas, I should say. 2 down, and Chloe Lenaro will come to the plate. Good day overall, 2 for 3, single and a double. And at the time, I believe Carbajal came in and ran for her. She scored the run in this spot as that pitch misses low. 1-0 count to Lennar. And that'll miss outside and high on the fastball. 2-0. The pitch. That's on the outside corner for a called strike. 2-1. 6-0 if you're just tuning in. Lady Tigers in front. Scored 4 in the first, 2 in the bottom of the 5th. And Chloe Lunar is at the plate right now. Has kept the Lady Knights off the board. And this is a liner that'll go right to shortstop. And Menchaca will handle that. And that is the end of the inning. So the Lady Tigers, a 6-run cushion going to the top of the 7th as they try to grab the series victory. We'll return right after this here on Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019.
The Winner's Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winner's Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winner's Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Join the fantastic team at Ochoa Stucco. Full-time positions, on-the-job training, and competitive pay. Start a career in construction. Message Ochoa Stucco on Facebook or call 575-442-6745 to schedule an interview.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Almost Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019 as Chloe Lenar's first pitch will miss high. Top of the 7th inning on the Richardson Motor scoreboard. Lady Tigers in front 6-0. And it is the top of the order. Natalie Menchaca, who has grounded out twice and reached on an intentional walk to the plate. And a check swing foul by Menchaca, and the count evens up at 1-1. Here's the pitch. And I'll roll back to the catcher, 2-1. Two-one gets on the inner half for a called strike, 2-2. Lennar looks in. Here comes the pitch. Couldn't get the call on the outside corner. Just missed. 3-2. 8 strikeouts for Chloe this evening to go along with 11 in game 1. Called strike 3 as that one hits the inside corner. And a little frustration there from Menchaca as strikeout number 9 for Lunar. One down, and Adriana Fuentes will come to the plate. Here's the pitch. That one will deflect off the glove to the backstop. 1-0. Fuentes 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Sure for her, just trying to build a little bit of confidence for her next game after a tough go of it here in game 2. And she'll hit a ground ball to second. Ortiz will play that, toss it on to first. And there's 2 down. And they'll bring up Hannah Justice, who is 1 for 3, a single, a ground out, and a strikeout, as the Lady Tigers closing in on getting 2 out of 3 from Morgan Mountain this week. As I said, it'll feel frustrating because they'll feel like they should have gotten all 3. But won a close game on Tuesday, lost a close game today, and have been pretty well in control in this one. From the get. Here's a ground ball to third. Gonzalez fields it cleanly. Toss on to first. No, they're going to call her safe. And I think he got that call right. Seemed like it was bang, bang, but credit to Justice for running that out. And so it'll be Leah Malero come to the plate, who has singled twice and grounded out. Here's a ground ball that'll go foul at the third base line. 0-1 the count. Always frustrating when you have a chance to end the game right there, and it was pretty good defensive play from Davi. Just didn't really have a whole lot on the throw to first. If she's got a little bit more zip to it, maybe she gets it there in time. 0-1's going to drop low and away. And the count evens up at 1-1. Lenar winds and deals. Swing and a miss, and she's a strike away from finishing this one off. 1-2 the count. Get it in double-figure strikeouts if she can get a punch out here. Ground ball up the middle, and that one's going to get through as Kosum unable to get that on an in-between hop. And so the game will stay alive here. Morgan Mountain needs a lot in this inning, but Araya Cordova will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. Well, credit to Morgan Mountain. They're not going away. And here's a ground ball. Gonzalez, she'll step on the bag at third, and that one will end it. 5 unassisted fielder's choice, and the Lady Tigers get the series, win 6-0 here in Game 2 after falling 6-5 in Game 1. They did win the first game of the series on Tuesday by a final score of 3-2. We'll take a break and come back and wrap it up on the Otero Federal Credit Union postgame show. You're listening to Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019.
Celebrate America Saves Week with OFCU. Grab some freedom and save some green from April 6th through the 10th. Score vehicle purchases or non-OFCU refinance vehicles low as 4.24% APR with no payments for 90 days. That's right, 90 days. Consolidate with personal loans as low as 7.99% APR. Apply online at oterofcu.org. Limited time offer must be new money. All loans subject to credit approval. Rates vary based on collateral and or term. Other restrictions may apply. Interest will accrue from date of purchase. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ryan Richardson Motor Company wishes the Tigers an amazing winning season. May your efforts match your dreams. Buy, sell, or trade late model cars, trucks, and SUVs. Financing available. Stop by for a test drive and score an amazing deal with Ryan Richardson Motor Company. 318 South White Sands Boulevard or online at ryanrichardson.company. That's ryanrichardson.company.
Here in our community, we honor the strength of our military families and their children during Military Child Month. First National Bank is honored to support the families who serve, and we thank you for your service.
First National Bank, member FDIC.
Use the equity in your home to finance your dreams. This is Leanne Bain from First National Bank. Plan that special vacation, those home improvements, or simply pay off high interest rate bills. It's easy. Apply for your home equity line of credit today.
Member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to credit approval.
The Winter Circle has been outfitting champions for over 50 years in Otero County. Established in 1970 by our Gigi and Big John.
Let's show our school spirit. Whether you're a Tiger, Wildcat, Bear, or Chief, we can make t-shirts, sweatshirts, polos, and hats. And we do custom embroidery too. The Winter Circle does it all. Custom orders available for businesses, squadrons, and organizations like hats, polos, name tags, also trophies and awards.
Winter Circle, 1201 10th Street. Go Tiger! See you at the game!
Looking to transform your home's exterior? Meet Rudy Ochoa. With years of experience in stucco, Rudy and his crew deliver quality craftsmanship and stunning flawless finishes. 575-442-6745.
We are the Veterans Health Administration, and our hands provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide. Join hands with us to make an impact in your community. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov.
Alamo Sports and Talk, 1230, 1019. Welcome back. The Alamogordo Lady Tigers get the win in Game 2, 6-0 over the Oregon Mountain Lady Knights, and the Lady Tigers improve to 14-3 on the season, and they are now 3-3 in district. Hosting Mayfield coming up on Tuesday, as they lost the first game 6-5, gave up a couple runs in the top of the seventh, but really nice bounce-back win in game number 2. Haley Evans, a couple of doubles and 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored for her. Amani Kosum, a couple of runs scored and 2 hits. She had 6 hits total between the doubleheader. Chloe Lenar, a single, a double, and I believe Lola Carbot, the run scored for her. I think she came in as the courtesy runner in that first inning. RBI double for Alyssa Bautista, RBI ground out for Reagan Rose, RBI single for Iceland Ortiz on the evening. And 9 strikeouts, no runs allowed for Chloe Lenar. She did have to face some trouble. She had the bases loaded in the first, 2 on in scoring position in the second, a couple on there in that last inning, but she got the run support, and she picked up the shutout, so really nice effort there. Do you want to mention as well, Tularosa softball winners tonight? They swept their doubleheader at Hatch Valley 13-1, 12-2. Mescalero Apache softball lost up at the Atza Spring Jamboree tournament in Farmington. The Navajo Prep tournament, 30-7 was the final. They play either Jemez Valley or Northwest, Shiprock Northwest. I think is the name of the school now. 12:15 on Friday is the scheduled start time for that. Alamo baseball plays tomorrow, not today, because some bad radio person told you that it was today. I apologize on that one. I just assume softball and baseball are playing on the same day. That's all it is. I'm a big dummy. Anyway, tomorrow, 5 and 7 o'clock doubleheader in Las Cruces. Tularosa baseball, I should say, is playing tomorrow. They'll be in Socorro for a doubleheader. Alamo tennis, I believe the boys lost 9-0. The girls lost 7-2 today to Oregon Mountain, as they'll be back at it next week. On Tuesday, I believe they'll be back at home against Mayfield. Alamogordo track and field is up at Rio Rancho tomorrow. Track and field for Tularosa and Cloudcroft are up in Ruidoso tomorrow. Alamo JV will be up there as well. And the powerlifting teams are headed up to Albuquerque, or I should say Rio Rancho, for Friday and Saturday, as Alamogordo girls are hoping to defend their Class 5A state title. So best of luck to them. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Thanks for listening to the Otero Federal Credit Union postgame show. Lady Tigers lose the first game 6-5, but bounce back to win the second game 6-0 in the doubleheader, and they win the season series over Oregon Mountain, get 2 out of 3 this week. And next week they get Mayfield, which I got to say, before I jump off the air, I'm kind of curious to see what happened between, I believe Mayfield and Centennial are playing tonight as well. Let's see here. So Mayfield beats Centennial 8-4 and 15-3. So Mayfield stays undefeated in district and sweeps Centennial. So Alamo is going to have their work cut out for the next week, as it looks like Mayfield may be the team to beat in District 3-5A this season. You guys have a great one. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for listening to the Otero Federal Credit Union postgame show. Thanks to the Ryan Richardson Motor Company for our scoreboard sponsor, and a shout-out to Ochoa Stucco and the Winter Circle and First National Bank for sponsoring all of our Tiger Sports broadcasts. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you in the roundup tomorrow, 2 to 3 p.m. right here on Alamo Sports and Talk.
No roadblocks are scheduled today at Highway 70, 54 South, or 380. For the latest roadblock information, call 575-678-1178. Tonight's forecast, mostly clear skies. In Alamogordo, expect a low of 53, Cloudcroft a low of 38. For Thursday, looking at sunny skies, mostly clear tomorrow night, 20% chance of rain.